Give them a holy kiss. It's good to know one another in the apostolic faith. As you may be seated, the only sanctuary there is in these uncertain times is with people who love God, and God is principle. It is written, God is love, and love then must be God. It said, whosoever loveth is born of God and knoweth God. But this nation is indeed a sick nation, perishing by the moment. I'm the chairman of the San Francisco Housing Authority, chairman of the Commission on Housing. Just come back from Washington. If anything would make you depressed, if anything would give you the heavy heart that Jesus had on his way to Golgotha, if you can know a little bit about it, because he said we had to go through the things that he went through. He said we had to be made perfect even as he was perfect. He learned perfection. He was made perfect through suffering. And he said, when I go away, these things shall you do, but greater. Greater suffering, greater miracles, everything greater. That's what he said. Not only the same things shall you do, but the same things and greater. When they took him away, he said, for what good work do you take me away? They said, for no good work, but because you being a man, make yourself God. He said, it's written, O generation, foolish generation, it's written, ye all are gods. And 2,000 years later, we're still struggling with what Jesus tried to reveal to people's hearts. Today, having met with the leaders of this country, and in a short time we'll be meeting with the sister of President Carter, because his wife asked me to meet. I dined with Mrs. Carter a few weeks ago and got to know a little bit about her as an individual. Enough to know this, that no matter what her intentions, they don't know how to cope with the problems that we are faced with in our land today. And such misery as they feel that you don't ever hear that the sister, Mrs. Stapleton, you know, you read about her and her concern about healing matters, that the wife of the president said, go out and see Reverend Jim Jones because he has the answer. And I thought, yes, we have an answer. But if people will listen, we have an answer. Most people are not prepared to listen. So it's doubtful whether you're going to have anybody respond because they won't listen to the answer. I had an hour and a half with her. I dined with her not because I'm anything, because we have a lot of people. We have a lot of people because we take care of our people. And that's the commandment. It said, bear one another's burdens. It said, minister to the necessities of all the saints or all the believers. It said, take care first of the household of the faith. So in our church there are all of these wonderful ministries, beautiful convalescent homes and beautiful children's homes, and lovely, lovely centers for our aged, and legal services free, and free medical clinic, and free physical therapy where we have jacuzzi baths and ultrasonic treatment. To not only do we depend upon faith, and faith does things in our temple I've never seen in my life, because I've never known people that can live to the degree that we are able to say that we've never had one die in our assemblies that have not been raised from the dead. I've never known such a testimony, not in any time or any hour, except that which I read about in former days. I have never been in a place where nobody can die in the presence of the living God. So there is no question about faith. But faith without works is dead. Faith that doesn't work is dead, and faith without works is dead. So you have to indeed put some legs on all of your faith and all of your prayers and all of your meditations and all of your worship. There have to be legs on those prayers. And we have those legs to a degree. We have beautiful children's homes on the most lovely acreage that you'll ever see in America, in California. And the most beautiful, as I said, physical therapy, equipment and facilities and medical facilities. And we feed our people and we live together as they did on the day of Pentecost. If you don't have any income in our church, or if you have too little income, we have 70 different homes in which we all live as it was on the day of Pentecost. We all share and have all things common. If somebody only has $50 and somebody else makes $400, we share and we all eat as they did and was revealed in the church on the apostolic day. I'm talking about big apartment buildings. Big homes, not just 70 little houses. I'm talking about a great senior citizen complex of 33 apartments, just to name one. Say, what does it mean to have all things common? It means you don't have to worry anymore. It means when all people are one family, as they were when the church was conceived and was in inception on the day of Pentecost, when you are together as one, you don't have to worry anymore. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry no more. Because when God, and God is a principle, God is love, and love cannot be something you just feel on Tuesday night or Monday night in a shouting meeting. It's not something you feel when you clap your hands and dance, but love is a principle. It works like it does in a family. You couldn't know love in a family if the father of the family or the mother of the family had a nicer bedroom than the children and had more to eat than the children. But if it's truly love, then everyone in that house, they all hold everything in common. You don't say in your house that it's your living room. You say it's our living room. Praise his name. Praise his holy name. I'm talking about God. I know God, so I praise his holy name. When you know him, it's not just some feeling, but it's a principle, it's an idea, it's a government. It's that the government is upon his shoulders. And unto that government, there is no end. They want a solution in America today. And I listen to them talk about 60 million Americans about to lose their homes. I listen to 80% of the black people that owned property in 1945 have either lost it or it's going into receivership in the mortgage banks. I listen to 15 million people that are starving to death. I didn't hear it from some newspaper. I heard it from the heads of the government of the United States today. Because I just come in from Washington, just flew in on the plane from the conference with the top-notch leaders. I listen to them talk about planned takeovers. I listen to them to talk about it like it was just an ordinary Sunday school picnic. And you don't have to be very far off to realize it's in your newspapers. Task force warns nation to get ready for riots and to get ready for martial law and to get ready for concentration camps. This is in the Hearst Press just this week. Get ready for identification marks to be put on your body and an identification number even necessary tattooed on you like our corporations have done in the Union of South Africa. You say, oh, America wouldn't do that. Don't talk to me about what America would not do. We're doing it in the Union of South Africa. We rule that country now. Ford and all those DuPonts and Rockefeller, they're running the Union of South Africa, and our black and brown and poor people cannot even be out after sundown, and there's a tattoo on their arm, and if they don't show that tattoo, they go to jail. And it's not only that, friend. 5.5 million in Union of South Africa last year, 1976, were sent out to the concentration camps of the Bantu region to die because there's not enough food. And you can look on your TV if you've been looking, but some people are looking at everything but what the truth ought to be. It'll show tears, great lines of graveyards where our babies, brown and black babies, are dying in the Union of South Africa. So what's that got to do with us? Because the same corporations that rule this country, the same megalomaniacs, the same elitists, the same ruling class, Ford, DuPont, Chrysler, General Motors, they're running the show over there. And if they will do that to our people over there, they'll do it here when the trouble comes. It's wonderful. Wonderful to know the truth, and the truth will set you free. You say it's uncomfortable, but it also sets you free. But to hear that kind of thing coming out of the mouth of the government leaders, and to hear them say, we have no answers. To hear the head of housing, and to hear the head of welfare, the president's appointments, And to hear the presidential secretary say there is no answer. Said we can't have housing, and we're not going to be able to have enough food and enough shelter and medicine. We're not going to be able to give it to the people. And yet they're holding out a magic wand, making us believe that it's going to get better. But if you are in Washington, friend, if you happen to be in government as I am in government, because I've always made my own way, I've always made my own living. I believe like Apostle Paul, you're able, he was out, he made tents. He fixed tents by day and preached all night. And I tell you today, we might get some truth from these preachers. If they had to go to work and had to know what it was to live out there, then maybe we'd get some truth from their mouths.